Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Podcast Strikes Back. My name is George. You're listening to our review of A Quiet Place.
Shh.
The boys Connor,
Hello.
Benny.
Hey.
Wow. Everyone's being very quiet.
Let's do the whole episode like
Yeah. I genuinely, getting out of that film, I felt like I didn't want to speak too loudly. It felt like breaking any kind of silence would be sacrilege.
Yeah, certainly in the cinema, I was just
Yeah.
breathing.
And
very
I was telling,
quietly.
I went to this, I was meant to go with George, but he canceled on me the last
Wow,
second.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Wow.
a dirty
It's
move.
like, nah,
Brutal.
we're not
Yeah.
friends.
And I ran into Lucas, and I was so glad because I haven't seen a horror film with him ever, really.
Mhm.
So I was super excited to see it.
It's a friend of ours who does not watch horror movies.
Yeah, doesn't enjoy them. Well, enjoys them, but just doesn't have them
enjoy
real.
crapping
And
his
he's
pants.
freaked out.
Yeah, he was pretty freaked out.
Cool.
He told some people to shut up, basically.
Yeah.
Because they were just whispering, but like anything you do in this film, it sounds loud.
Says right outside the door, a quiet place.
Yeah.
No fucking talking.
Yeah, we had some kids talking in our movie and it was driving me mental.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
2018, A Quiet Place. We watched the trailer not too long ago. I don't think any of us were really that amped on it.
I was on record as saying I liked the trailer. I thought the movie was going to be crap.
Yeah,
yeah,
same.
I was 100% around this. I
Yeah.
loved the concept, and I was super excited to see what they did with it. I like John Krasinski.
Because The Office.
Yeah, but I like the.
Have you seen his
yeah.
other directorial efforts?
He's done one other.
2 others, I think.
I believe it's one.
I think he's done 6.
Just one.
I think you're a liar.
And he's directed a couple of episodes of The Office and some other things
They
like
were
that.
bad episodes, though.
But no, I like the general transformation that he seems to have made. Kind of done a 180 on
From like big-eared geeky dude to big-eared action star.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
But I think the issue we had with it was it looked very much like a very basic premise. You know,
Very
you can't make a
contrived.
sound
Yeah.
and then you'll die. And it looked very similar to what was the film we were sort of referencing? I Am
Oh.
Legend.
Mm.
Sort of that kind of like very mainstream muted horror.
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
down to the mass audience.
Like there's
Yeah.
probably a horror film that was made for half the budget floating out there somewhere that's probably 2 times better.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is the thing most people are going to see. Well, there's some awesome Blumhouse thing over
Yeah.
here that's really
Yeah.
cool.
But look, all right, so
And
that,
not to mention the fact that it's from Platinum Dunes, Michael Bay's production company, which I only realized as the movie started. I was like, huh?
yeah, well,
They only make shitty Halloween remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this is the kind of John Krasinski's. It's not his directorial debut, but it's the one that seems to have, kind of launched him as
Hold on, a lot of
as
words.
a
Yeah, it's
director.
very hard to go into this with low expectations because the word has been incredibly strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At the time of watching, for most of us, I think the Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah.
score was 100%. It's 97 now, so
97 years.
sucked in a quiet place.
Yeah. So I went in with higher hopes. I think, I came out thinking that those hopes were satisfied. I was really sold on this film. It's got a very simple and solid concept, and I think it's got a really solid execution.
Mm.
I thought that there was a risk of it kind of falling in love with its own premise too much. But I think that they broke that up really well. They were kind of self-aware of where the limit of that of that premise could be
Mm.
placed. But yeah, I was really sold on this film. I really loved it. And John Krasinski's doing and Emily Blunt are doing the kind of rounds right now, and they've been mentioning that this is really not only a horror film but mostly about a film about family.
Yeah.
They've got great chemistry, those two.
Oh yeah,
They should
they should date.
do something, yeah.
Yeah.
When the word is that strong on a movie, I can't help but get pumped. And when the movie starts, I'm like, okay, this better be fucking good. And then the expectation comes onto the movie to be good. And it was very good, very tense, very solid was the word you used. I think that's a great way to put it. I think I wouldn't say there was a huge amount of flair to it or anything, but it was just a really solid movie that I kind of struggled to fault, and a good watch. Very very contained. It's telling one little story about this one group of characters in this huge high concept situation, which I really like. I like when the world's just kind of hinted at to other stuff. 5
cast members total.
Mm.
So
it kind of reminds me a lot of a couple other movies that I like more. So it suffers a little bit in that regard.
very
I think
interesting.
Such as?
there's a lot of signs in this movie.
Yeah, very
Dude,
much so.
that's I got that
Very much
vibe
so.
very strongly.
Yeah, which is a movie I think
the
is
family drama in this sort of otherworldly context.
Yeah.
in the middle of a cornfield. Which I like signs, and I think that movie has a lot to say thematically as well that really grabs me. And Shyamalan's direction I think is par
point,
excellence.
Yeah, and his cinematography is
Yeah,
gorgeous
and
as
also
well.
one that you've heard about a lot from me. It Comes at Night.
Oh yeah.
Very similar kind of family situation in a remote house
Oh, okay.
location in the middle of nowhere during a sort of what's going on.
Do you know what it also reminded me a little bit of? Is It Follows?
It
Kind
follows.
of, yeah,
'Cause they
simple,
follow.
simple concept, kind of extrapolated into a movie.
This movie could have really used a synth score.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Just I got that vibe, and I like that vibe. I really enjoy when they take simple horror concepts and they
You're a
kind of,
liar, Connor. You haven't seen It Follows. You haven't seen A Quiet Place.
I don't actually watch movies.
Yeah.
For
knew
me, came out, loved it. Really, really loved it. I think contained is the word. 90-minute runtime. I
90
didn't
minutes,
actually
yeah.
know.
Yeah, like
I
on the
actually
dot.
didn't know it was that short. So when it ended, I was like, "Holy fuck!" I thought there was another 20 minutes to go, but that was great.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Me. I'm one of my pet peeves is when things overdo themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I love a
You
lean, mean machine,
check out, man.
and that's what this was.
That's not something you get often, a movie ending before you expect it to.
Yeah,
Because
seriously.
that doesn't really
Most
happen
of
with
the
big
time, I'm
movies.
like, fucking wind
I was
this
like-
up.
Yes.
I
I
was-
thought John Krasinski and Emily Blunt in particular, I loved her performance.
Yeah,
She was fantastic in this. Loved the concept.
What's this movie about, George?
Am I doing the?
You gotta do it.
Yeah,
We've
okay.
done ours.
Let me do. Anyway, I just thought it was fantastic. A few little nitpicks here and there, and
yeah.
but in terms of a premise, damn, this is gonna be tough.
Should have probably started with
It's a
this.
real simple one.
It is really simple. Post-apocalyptic.
If you
Don't-
blink,
He's got to learn to do it himself.
if you blink, you die.
If you blink, you die. That's it. That's the tagline.
Make
If
a
they hear
sound,
you,
you
they
die.
hunt you.
Make a
That is the tagline.
Make a sound and you die. This family of 5 lives out in a rural part of United States in some post-apocalyptic world that is, not really explained at the beginning of the film. And if they make a sound that's loud, they die, and they die pretty swiftly. And there's some pretty brutal stuff in this film. And that's really all you need to know. I don't think you need to know much more than that.
Totally.
That's kind of the extent of it. And what I loved about this film, to kick things off, is really the visual storytelling.
Yeah.
There's 10 bits of dialogue in this, maybe at a guess. It's all subtitles, sign language. They're
It's really
really
cool.
keeping quiet in this film, and they've told John Krasinski told the story in a very succinct, very effective way to convey exactly what needed to be conveyed with the visuals. And you couldn't tell the story like this particular way the story was told was perfect for film.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't do it with dialogue just because of the premise. So
And I love that. I love it when a film utilizes the medium.
a lot of
Yep.
newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
Gotta tell the story.
I thought they did that very well, like explaining what happened in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, getting you up to speed. That was, I thought it was really well done.
I would say it was a touch overdone, like 10% overdone, but we can get to that in spoilers.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
I-
interested to hear you guys your thoughts on that,
Yeah.
because I felt that was quite left alone. It was really about the family,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
really liked that.
the necessary exposition was swift and done. I think shown rather than told. Really.
Yeah, but there were
Um,
definitely moments where there were, visual cues telling the story where I was like, why would
Yes.
someone have that
Yeah.
anyway?
Yeah. I mean, but that's storytelling. I mean, some things you just have to put out for the audience. Yeah, look, can we go through the cast really quickly? I think that's a good place to start. You mentioned Emily Blunt giving an awesome performance. I tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
I thought she was really stellar.
I thought she was top of the pile here.
Yeah. And I mean, considering that there's like 2 actors in this,
Well,
not
I
including
mean-
the kid actors.
I mean, if you're under 11, you're still an actor.
Yeah. But I mean, I think John Krasinski has actually mentioned this, that, Emily Blunt's just, she's She's really good.
She's great, and she's a star because obviously he directed this film, and generally when you have a director starring in their own film, they kind of take a little secondary role to someone else, I find. He does a solid job as well.
Oh yeah, I was
think.
really
He was
impressed with
great.
him. And there's a lot of people that I was talking to that were like, "Oh, I hope he does." There's one person that mentioned, "I hope he does his Jim look to camera." And I was like, "If he fucking does that, I'm done with this film."
I wish he did do that.
But he, I thought he nailed it. He grabbed that character, and for an actor that we've seen play one thing for like 10 years, I thought it was really encouraging to see him, be able to branch out and tackle a character that was completely different.
And I think what I respected about him in this film, we saw this last year with Jordan Peele with Get Out, is a comedian, a guy who's sort of pigeonholed in comedy, come out and do a really strong horror film.
He's been on a big action bender though for a while now.
Yeah, he did 13 hours and
but I
stuff.
still feel like he's still that comedy guy. Like that's what I always think of him as.
Well, he's Jim Halpert, like and he was for 10 years.
Jim
it's hard.
Halpert. Is that what they called him in the American one? God.
Garbage. Terrible.
What is he in the British one again? Jim
Martin
something?
Freeman.
Oh yeah, it's Jim. I'm pretty sure it is Jim Halpert.
Martin Freeman.
Jim something.
Is he? Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, you
fuck
shit.
that up if that's the truth.
There's no Halperts in Britain. It's ridiculous. We have Millicent Simmons, the young deaf actress who played the daughter.
And John Krasinski actually pushed really hard to get a deaf actress for this.
Okay.
Which I thought was very cool.
Yeah, she was great. She had a lot to do in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the writing for that character, like I understood the function of it, but sometimes I was like, oh man, come on, kid. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck,
That's
man?
the
You guys
trouble.
know what's up. Like we're at this stage. You guys know the drill. Like,
That's the
like I think
trouble.
I don't want to say too much because I'm getting
we can talk about
spoilers
this with
here,
the
but-
spoilers.
That's the trouble with kids in movies because kids are dumb and they make stupid decisions. And in real life, you want to slap them, but you can't.
Yeah.
But then when they're in the movies,
Well,
you especially can't because you can't
yeah.
even reach into the screen.
Yeah.
It's like, stop making stupid decisions, dumb kid.
But I thought as far as her acting ability, she was really spot on. Also, the other kid,
He was
I can't remember his
alright.
name.
Noah Jupe. I thought he was great.
Yeah, so did I.
He was alright.
His role was to play like just a terrified child
Dude,
the whole
he
time.
basically played how I would react if I was that age, and I would be fucking
What do you mean
scared.
if you were that age?
It's already
shitless.
right now.
No, I'd definitely be the John Krasinski character in that for sure.
Where are you, Jim?
But yeah, I thought he did a really good job of playing that character. And I was like,
I really bought his wild-eyed terror the whole
yeah,
time.
seriously. But yeah, look, I thought the cast. It's hard to talk a lot about this film without going into spoilers, just because, as I said, it's a very simple concept.
Yeah.
And everything that I wouldn't recommend anyone. We should probably have put this at the beginning, but like if you haven't seen it, just stop listening to this. Go and watch it.
Yeah.
Like it's best to go in with as little information as possible because I think that's really what makes this film excellent.
Yeah.
It's not a twist or anything. It's just
Yeah, it's a very simple concept that under other directors, under their responsibility, it would be bland and it would be super rudimentary.
Definitely.
But I feel like it had a lot in there to keep me interested the whole time. And in terms of like suspense and being on the edge of my seat, like this hit the bill. Like every scene, I was worried.
Really hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I think the strength of this movie compared to others that maybe fail is just the focus on the characters and the family unit. That's what really holds it together. It's all about
I agree.
family.
I think
It's
before
like
we
the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, absolutely.
the whole time.
exactly
Put
like
this up
horror
on the shelf
movies.
right next to them. Yeah.
Before we get into spoilers, I think we can talk about, in a very broad sense, the design of the just of everything around the film. So I liked the way that they set up, how they keep things quiet, the way that the house is set
Like
up.
the felt. I love the little felt figurines with Monopoly.
Yeah, things like
that was
it's
just a
clever.
Cool little touch.
That is clever because it's such an iconic thing. The little metal Monopoly things.
Yeah, and that those kind of little moments are what sells the concept more, and you're in tune with what these guys have to do day to day.
Yeah. So I thought that they designed everything and kind of thought through everything fairly well. I was pretty impressed with that. Having said that, like I said, I don't think there's much more we can talk about without getting into spoilers. I think we should do that. If you haven't seen it, pause it now, go see it, and maybe come back when you have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if we can go through one thing that I think,
Are we in spoilers now?
yeah, this is official
Oh,
spoil
okay.
territory.
Oh crap!
I think just as a final, like, I
Oh,
think we
yeah,
all
yeah,
recommend that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
watch
you
this
seem
movie,
to
yeah.
be
Terrible.
It's pretty clear how
You're
we all
not-
feel about it. Like,
You're
go
not.
see it. I
Just-
loved it.
Just throw your TV out the window. Right
Check it out.
now.
Yeah, don't let the tomato meter ruin it for you, because I
Yeah.
think it was you kind of said this about Get Out. You know, when a movie is rated that highly and you go in and it's just a movie, you're like, oh man, I was expecting
Yeah.
like an orgasm or something.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say about Black Panther. There's like, wow,
Totally,
it was
yeah.
overhyped.
Yeah.
It was overhyped.
It's like that's the highest grossing movie
Yeah.
ever made in the history of man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would stress that this is just a taut little thriller.
Yeah.
Don't go nuts, but
Yeah, it's solid.
definitely worth a watch.
It's a good film.
Yeah.